It's been nothing but a tumultuous season for the New Orleans Pelicans, and they've tried everything to turn it around. Even after moving on from their star Brandon Ingram, it still didn't look to be the right situation for the franchise. We're going to break down everything you need to know in the news that we've received today on the New Orleans Pelicans and what they should be doing going forward. I'm your host, Joey Mercer. This is another episode of Joe Mercer Sports Podcast, and thank you to everyone who has supported the channel up to this point, and the consistent support that I've received nonetheless. But make sure, if you are watching this content, to go down below, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and every single time we upload, you'll be able to stay up to date with our takes here on the NBA and everything you need to know around it. It's absolutely free. Go down, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video when you hit that one, and every video from here on out. But without further ado, let's get into the topic at hand today, which is actually an article I came across at the New York Post saying Pelicans fire top executive David Griffin after another lost season and executive Pistons championship builder Joe Dumars. So Dumars helped build the 2004 Pistons that won a championship and was a member of the Bad Boys Pistons championship teams where they won 2 titles. However, some things happened afterwards, and they didn't really like the moves that he made over there in Detroit, and ultimately Joe Dumars was let go. Right now, we know he's running the Players Association, head over the health and safety, whatever the official title is. We know what Joe Dumars is doing for the NBA right now and the decision-making that he has had. Some people like it, some people not so much, but that is who they're eyeing. Now, why did David Griffin get let go? Was it just this season? Was it more than that? Well, let's get right into this article. This article is actually by Matt Ehalt, as I mentioned, from the New York Post, and says drafting Zion Williamson proved to be a career killer for David Griffin. The Pelicans fired Griffin, their executive vice president of basketball operations, on Monday after the franchise missed the playoffs for the 4th time in his 6 seasons. Griffin tallied a 209 and 263 record and won 2 playoff games in his stint, which included this year's 21 and 61 mark. Not great. 2 playoff game wins in 6 years is obviously not the franchise wanted. Not a lot of teams are looking to tank and really go on that process, so to speak, like the 76ers tried to do with Embiid and Simmons and everything else along the way there with Sam Presti. But then when we look into this one right here with David Griffin, it's a little bit stranger. Last season they were a play-in team, and now this season, well, not so great. 21 and 61, obviously the mark. There wasn't a lot to take away from this besides Yves Missi playing very well as a rookie at the center position for them, but there was lots of injuries, not a whole lot going on with them, and more injuries than off-court issues with Zion Williamson as always. But yeah, it wasn't exactly what they were looking for, and 6 seasons is definitely a long enough sample size to see if David Griffin was the guy to get it done for them in New Orleans. This was a difficult decision, but one that I feel is necessary at this time to bring a fresh approach to our front office and build a culture that will deliver sustainable success on and off the court. I'm committed to hiring the right person to lead our basketball operations department and deliver an NBA championship to our city, team owner Gayle Benson said in a team statement released Monday. They're far away from winning a championship, but they want to go in that direction. They don't want to rebuild anymore, and yeah, I can definitely understand that from them. Never winning an NBA championship, it's time to do something with it right now, and I understand the harsh decision that was made today. That is what our fans deserve. I am truly appreciative of David for his leadership and many contributions to the Pelicans organization and the New Orleans community over the last 6 years. Wish David and his wife Meredith and their family all the best moving forward. The Pelicans just started search, reportedly, already as a favorite, with former Pistons championship executive Joe Dumars emerging as the serious front-runner per ESPN. Dumars is the NBA's head of basketball operations and built the 2004 title-winning Pistons. So a lot of people look at that franchise as what you want a franchise to look like. Not a whole lot of top-tier guys, but a bunch of really, really good players, and they were all seen as being better than maybe they were at the time after the season had ended, and now today we talk about them as one of the greater championship teams of all time because they were able to build that without all-stars really being all surrounded. There was no big three. It was just all 5 guys on the court at one time really working towards a common goal, and it really worked out there. And lots of teams, executives, people in the media, everybody has tried to break down what they did in 2004 and replicate it, and it has not happened since, in my opinion. Should he join the Pelicans, he'll be entering a less enviable situation that the one Griffin had in 2019 when he became the top executive for a team that would land the first pick in a draft headlined by Williamson, once considered a can't-miss prospect. But Williamson's career has been plagued by injury issues, and the Pelicans have failed to develop into a consistent contender without their top player. Williamson topped 60 games twice in the last 6 years. Ouch. Missed the entire 2021-22 season due to injury and played in just 30 games this past year. The Pelicans won 30, 31, 36, 49, and 42 games in Griffin's first 5 years before bottoming out this season, cycling through 3 coaches along the way. And they ran some funky lineups with Elfrid Payton out there putting up double-doubles. Griffin previously worked for the Cavaliers and Suns, and his time at the Pelicans also included high-profile trades involving sending Anthony Davis to the Lakers and Brandon Ingram to the Raptors. While our focus is a championship on the court, we are also making sure that we do the same off the court by continuing to prioritize the fan experience, ensuring our games are easily accessible across our entire Gulf South region on multiple convenient platforms, Benson said. In addition, we are working to determine the best path forward to transform the Smoothie King Center into the best arena in the NBA. We look forward to delivering on these priorities to our fans. And that's a great plan, obviously. It's an ambitious one, to say the least, but good that they actually have a set goal in place for sure for that franchise. The Pelicans finished with the 4th worst record in the NBA, which provides them with a 1/8, so 12.5% chance of landing the number 1 pick and projected top prospect Cooper Flagg. This dismissal comes after the Nuggets shockingly fired GM Calvin Booth, along with head coach Michael Malone, right before the season ended, despite being in the mix for a top 6 seed. That really doesn't have anything to do with this. I mean, the seasons are completely different, but they do have to bring it up because it was such a shocking move. I want to make that very clear. Should the Pistons hire Dumars, they will be adding an NBA Hall of Famer who had a terrific run in Detroit that fizzled at the end of his tenure before he stepped down. The Pistons went 595 and 536 in his 14 seasons, guiding the franchise from 2000 to 2014, winning the Eastern Conference twice, but they did not tally one winning season in his last 6 years there. So will that continue? Is that the Joe Dumars we're going to see, or is it going to be closer to the championship executive that Joe Dumars was? Well, that's something we're all going to have to look forward to if this deal actually gets done for Joe Dumars to replace David Griffin. Well, that's all I've got to say about this topic. You let me know what you have to think about it down below in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on that bell for notifications, like the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.